guys, it's Shell with Creative Shell Bear, and today I have a new technique. I don't know if it's new to everyone, but it's new to me. I was just sitting in bed, or laying in bed, and I came up with this idea to use Sharpies as alcohol markers. So let me show you what I'm doing. You know how you have your the wrapper of your cardstock or some acetate, you know, that comes in a package. Well, this was my idea. Let me show you what I did. So I have all these Sharpies, and you know what I was thinking is when you add alcohol to Sharpies, it spreads. What I did is I was thinking about doing it on paper as a you know, in an alcohol fashion. So what I did is I, you know, kind of messed with some stuff, and I was thinking about what to do and how to do it, and, you know, coming up with these really cool tie-dye looks to use on cards. So the first thing I did is I, you know, scribbled on my paper and sprayed it with alcohol. I have some rubbing alcohol in here. And of course that didn't work because it's so porous. It just soaked up the color. So then what I did is I got to thinking, and I just took some plastic that I had in my stash. I always save, you know, my wrappers and stuff. So I always save my wrappers and stuff. And I got to playing with it. And this is what I came up with, is you just need a piece of plastic that's a little bit bigger, you know, or pretty close to the size of your, what you want to decorate. And some colors. So choose your colors. You hear my cat in the background? He's kind of talking. He's not hurt or anything, he's just a little talker. And okay, let's put some yellow in here, I think. And I'm just scribbling on this. You can do circles or whatever you want, but when you add the alcohol, it kind of activates it. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of pink over here. And they all run together anyway, so let's do that a little bit wider. Let's do this green up here. And I have a piece of plastic wrap, or a piece of, what's that called? I have a piece of wax paper to protect my work surface, and then a white piece underneath that, just so that you can see, you know, what we're doing a little bit better, easier. Okay, and if that dries, that's no problem, because when you put your alcohol on, it activates it. So what you're going to do is just go ahead and put your colors, and you can kind of see it already activating. You don't want, you know, tons of alcohol, but you want a little bit, and it kind of just starts activating. See how it's kind of running together? And what I found works best is to kind of let it activate and kind of run together and get mixed up before you do the paper technique. And I'm just using a plain cardstock. It seems to dry pretty good without a bunch of, without a bunch of buckling. It buckled a little bit, but not too bad. And of course it goes through to the other side. On this one, I actually held the acetate over it and dropped it onto the paper, but I really like this technique better. If you need to, go ahead and kind of give it a little bit of help to kind of mix your colors, you know, depending on whatever you're looking for. And then what I found works best is just lay your cardstock over the top of it and kind of smoosh it. And you can kind of tell where it is by what comes through the cardstock. Isn't that pretty? And you can just continue, you know, picking up some more of the paint wherever you like. And if for some reason you didn't get enough, you can go ahead and re-wet it, or you can add more color, you know, to it. It kind of reactivates it a little bit. And isn't that just so neat? It's just a tie-dyed little card base. And then what I do is I just go ahead and wipe it off, because if it still has alcohol on it, it still activates that ink for the most part. And some, you know, you'll have some that just sticks on there, but that's okay. So let's do, what about a red and a green? I'm probably not using a lot of red and greens right now, but just for, you know, for some design and some contrast, we'll do red and green. I just really thought this was an interesting concept. I looked online, you know, to see what's out there, and I didn't find anything like this. I'm going to use this lighter green. And so this might be, you know, totally new. I have seen people take the Sharpies and, you know, take them apart and put them in alcohol and stuff, but not actually just do this from, you know, using the little Sharpies. Again, you just want to spray it pretty good with alcohol. This is just a spray bottle I had at the house. I use alcohol to clean my microfiber couch, and so I just happen to have that. Can you see the marbling effect? I think that is so cool. Okay, it just takes a minute or two just to kind of, you know, blend and kind of activate. And like I said, so far this is my favorite way. I've been playing with it all morning just because, you know, it was in my head, and you gotta, yeah, sometimes you gotta get those things in your head out of your head. Let's see if I have any more. The red doesn't seem as juicy as the green. But isn't that cute, and how easy that is? You do get a little bit on your fingers, but, you know, if you want to, you can certainly wear gloves. And then I'm just going to wipe that up. Now my markers are pretty old, so that might be why the, you know, red isn't, you know, working as well, or it could be the, you know, the pigment that's in the red color. Let's see, what color should we do now? I was thinking of green and brown. Let's do green here. We'll see how, see, it's already kind of, you know what, I'm going to turn it over, I think. Because I really don't want any of that red in my picture. Okay, turn it over. Let's do green here. Oh, that one's kind of dry. Let's try a little bit of darker. So you kind of just get, you know, like a random mix of colors, which is kind of fun. You know, and it really doesn't take very long for them to dry, probably 10 or 15 minutes. This one's probably just got another 5 minutes, and this was the first one that we did. Let's see, I want brown at the bottom if it works. And let's do blue for the top. Just to kind of give us, you know, maybe like a background look. Kind of like sky and grass and dirt. See see what happens with that. I'm going to put a little bit extra alcohol in there just to see if that makes a difference. Again, this is kind of just an experiment. It was just something, you know, just something I was thinking of, and I think it turned out really neat. You know, I keep looking at this one, the first one that we did, and I see, you know, cut out Easter eggs. Wouldn't that be pretty? Kind of like a tie-dyed Easter egg. So see, it's starting to mix. The colors are starting to mix. You can kind of see it. There's still that red on the other side. Okay. Let's just see what happens. That's what I like, is you just don't know, you know, how it's going to turn out until you flip it over. Isn't that pretty? That, I really like that one. Okay, set that aside. Let me show you the drop technique. I call it a technique, so let me show you the drop part. Okay, this is how I did the drop part for the card. So I just put some blue down because I kind of wanted my colors to separate, to be separate, and see how it's mixing. And you want enough alcohol on here to, you know, kind of make it juicy, because you're going to kind of drop it onto your card. And here's my card base, or my top base, and I'm just going to kind of drop it. If you want more, you can turn it over and smoosh it. Just whatever you want to do, you know, however messy you want to get, because that's more messy. Okay, so I'm going to drop some yellow on top of that. Maybe we'll get some pretty greens. Just kind of, oops. Kind of get it juicy and all activated there. And I'll just drop some of that. Kind of cover in. I don't really want to do, you know, smush it. I just kind of want to add it a little bit here and there. Wipe off our, and I'm just using a paper towel to wipe it off. See, it's buckling a little bit, but it's not too bad, you know. So I think I need one more color. What about red? Let's do some red to kind of fill in some of the gaps. Okay, and just kind of activate that. It's kind of, like I said, that one kind of reacts differently. The red does. I don't know if it's older or if it's just the pigment. So I'm just going to try to, you know, put it where I want it. Let's see how that works. Put just a little bit in the center. Let that dry and soak in. And the good thing about using this cheap plastic is you just toss it, you know, when you're done. It doesn't cost you anything. It's really cheap, and most people have Sharpies, you know, on hand. So what do you think? I think it turned out so cute. So let me pull back the ones that I did. I did 4 today. I really like this one. Let's try to get them all in here. This one right here I think is really pretty. Here's the red and the green one. Isn't that kind of neat? And I cut these down to fit on the, you know, front of a A2 card, but I would probably cut shapes or something out of them before I adhere them to the card. They're kind of busy, and you know, again, it just depends on whatever you're looking for. So I'm going to let these dry, and I'm going to use these in a card project. And I'm going to use these in a card project later in the week. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you give this a try. Let me know what you come up with. And thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a great day.